Hello, thank you for taking the time to view this video. Today we're going to discuss container top safety and a fall arrest system. When using a fall arrest system, you need to inspect the equipment that you're going to use. That equipment being a safety harness, a self-retracting lifeline, and a safety wand. We're going to go into further detail on how you inspect this equipment. The first part of a fall arrest system is the safety harness. Before you put on a safety harness, you need to inspect it to make sure it's working properly. Always check the D-ring for cracks, breaks, and rough or sharp edges. Check the webbing of the harness for frayed edges, broken fibers, pulled stitches, tears, or chemical damage. Each harness has an inspection certificate. It should be inspected before every use. It should also be inspected by a certified professional every 6 months. If you have any questions about the condition of the harness, please contact your foreman or supervisor. The second part of a fall arrest system is a self-retracting lifeline. The self-retracting lifeline has 4 components: a double lock snap, webbing, the retractor, and a carabiner. Before using the equipment, every piece needs to be inspected. The carabiner should be checked that it opens easily. The clamp should make sure that it locks in place. The webbing should be checked to make sure that there are no abrasions. If it looks like it's been deployed in any fall arrest situation, do not use it. And the snap should be checked for any abrasions or deformities. The third part of a fall arrest system is an anchor wand. We will go into further detail of all of these components and the inspection of the wand. The container end lock wand is red in color. Before using, you should inspect the jaws to make sure that they work properly, the locking point to make sure that there's no deformities, and the handle. Squeeze the handle to open and close the jaws. The container top lock wand is yellow in color. Before using it, you should inspect the jaws to make sure they work properly. Squeeze the handle to open and close the jaws. Also inspect the locking point to make sure that it's at a 45-degree angle. If it has been lowered or deformed, do not use it. Contact your foreman or supervisor. Now let's go and demonstrate how we use this one portion of a fall arrest system.
It is extremely important that the proper SRL be used. It must contain a built-in shock absorber with a maximum arrest force of 900 pounds. Other units may look similar, but do not meet these requirements. So if you are uncertain, ask your foreman or supervisor. Now we're going to go through the procedure of properly donning the fall arrest equipment. Always wear your harness correctly. Notice that both the leg straps and the chest straps are attached properly. The harness should fit snugly to the body, but also allow for a free range of movement. On the back of the harness is the D-ring that the SRL will be attached to. Never attach the double lock snap to the D-ring. Always attach the carabiner of the SRL to the D-ring of the harness. Use the double lock snap to connect the SRL to the wand. When in doubt, contact your foreman or supervisor. End lock anchor wands are red in color and are used when you are working next to containers, but where fall hazards still exist. Now that you know how to check the fall arrest equipment and to put it on properly, we will go into using the wand. Before you start working, attach the double lock snap of the SRL to the anchor point on the wand. To insert the wand into the end hole of the top corner casting, squeeze the handle, push the jaws into the corner casting, and release the handle. Check to make sure that it is indeed locked in place. Note that the end lock wand can only be locked into the top corner castings of the containers. Do not attempt to fit the wand into a bottom corner casting. After you've ensured that the wand is locked into the end hole of the top corner casting, you can now start your work. Do not work more than 1 container width away from the anchor point. Although the SRL will extend 11 feet, APM Terminal's policy only allows you to work a maximum of 1 container width away from the anchor point. If you have additional work further than 1 container away, reposition the wand in an end hole of a top corner casting that is not farther than 1 container away from where you will be working. When approaching a leading edge, do not connect to the outermost top corner casting, as this may put you within 3 feet of a fall hazard. Instead, connect to the inside top corner casting before approaching the edge. Remember when using the end lock wand to always work within 1 container width of the anchor point, and do not lock the wand into the outermost corner castings. In addition, make sure that you are always more than 3 feet away from a potential fall arrest situation. If you have any questions about the use of the end lock wand fall arrest system, contact your foreman or supervisor. Top lock anchor wands are yellow in color and are used when working on top of containers. It is important to note that APM Terminals requires a foreman or a supervisor to be present when working aloft. Now we're going to demonstrate the proper use of the yellow top lock anchor wand when working on top of containers. Before using the top lock wand, make sure it is attached to the SRL, which in turn is attached to your harness. This procedure is identical to that used for the red end lock anchor wand. The top lock wand is fitted with an adjustable head to ensure that you can approach the corner casting without coming within 3 feet of a leading edge. After adjusting the head of the wand to the proper angle, place the top lock wand into the top of a corner casting, making sure that you remain 3 feet away from any leading edge. After you insert the head into the corner casting, give it a slight tug to make sure it is locked in place. At this point, you can safely perform your work, but always remember that you should never work beyond 1 container width away from the anchor point. It is also very important that you remain 3 feet away from any leading edge when removing the top lock anchor wand. Now, let's watch the top lock wand in action. Pay attention to what is being done right and what is being done wrong. Now, please pause the video and discuss among yourselves what was done right and what was done wrong in this example. Now, let's review the example. Following APM Terminal's policy, the worker is properly supervised by a foreman with a radio. The worker properly adjusts the head of the wand. The worker checks to make sure the head is locked into the corner casting. The worker is corrected by his foreman and fixes his actions, working only one container away from the anchor point. The worker deliberately checks to make sure he is 3 feet away from the leading edge. The major mistake in this example is that the worker attempts to work beyond 1 container width from the wand's anchor point. Remember, when going aloft, you must always be supervised. Never work more than 1 container width away from the anchor point, and remain 3 feet away from any leading edge when locking and unlocking the wand. If you have any questions about the safe use of the top lock anchor wand fall arrest system, please contact your foreman or supervisor.
Using a wand is one piece of a fall arrest system. At APM terminals, your safety is our concern. If you have not been trained in going aloft, do not go aloft. If you have any questions about your PPE or the use of equipment, contact your foreman or your supervisor. At the end of the day, remember, safety is your responsibility.